Hi, this is my yoga studio in Busselton, Western Australia. I've just finished teaching a class. There was over 20 students, ranging from teenagers to 70-year-olds. So I'm going to whack it on YouTube, and I hope you can do the class. It's a solid class, and you have to be pretty fit to do it. But I give easier options for everything. So I hope you can do it. It's an all-over strengthening up, loosening up. It's a great class. Do it and enjoy how you feel after. The benefits will last for days. Okay. Hello, everybody. I've just asked their permission, sort of. No, I just told this big class that I'm going to be putting this one on YouTube. So we're going to work on, there's lots of people in the class, all ages, from teenagers to 30s, 40, 20, anyone in their 20s? Teenagers, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and all levels, all over class. And yeah, enjoy the class. So it's going to be on YouTube. If you like it, you can do it again. So we're starting standing. I've got to really focus. 2 mics are on. Good. Okay, so everything easier and harder options, but it's not a hard class. It's all over, a bit of strengthening, a bit of loosening all over. So starting off, swinging your right leg like this. You can have one hand on the wall if you need. Reach for the crown of the head, just let your arms swing naturally. Don't think about it, just let your arms do what feels natural. It's actually opposite arm to leg, so it's sort of a counterbalance. Squeeze up your standing knee, squeeze your belly really gently. So when you extend, your lower back doesn't tense. Horizontal gaze, lift through your chest. Strengthening your weight-bearing leg, loosening your swinging leg and hip. Loosening your lower back, and then swap. Your foot's got to be slightly flexed so the toes don't drag. Actively lift through the chest, look straight ahead. Stimulating blood flow, strengthening the weight-bearing leg and hip, and loosening up in the swinging one. So looseness great for your lower back if it gets stiff. Okay, and then turning side on so you don't kick anybody. Right leg swinging, abducting, adducting, and the arms just counterbalancing. But if you sort of not feeling you're coordinated, I mean hands on the hips, but it's actually harder. If your arms go the opposite to the leg, it's actually easier, that counterbalance. Actively lift the chest, actively squeeze up the standing knee. Loosening the outer hip here. That's great little loosening around your shoulders and your spine as well, slight counter rotation. And then the other leg, abduct, adduct, swinging side to side, across and out to the side. You might need hands on the wall if you just can't get your balance. Okay, coming to facing straight, feet hip width, elbows in back pockets, gently strengthening our back, squaring up our shoulders, and then heels up. Strengthen the calves and the feet, and then push the palms of the hands together, and then just a little bend into the knees is easier. Heel raise to a little bend or a deeper bend into your knees, or even a deep squat. Keep your back straight. Everybody can do their own thing. You can do inhale and exhale, or you could also do exhale and inhale. Either breath will work. Really pumping blood here. Try to keep your back straight when you bend your knees. Try to keep your shoulders down when you put your elbows in your back pockets. Don't let your shoulders pull up. When you lift your heels up, try not to let your ankles splay out. So push into the base, push into the base of the big toe. When your heels come up, make effort to push or roll in a bit. You're into the base, so you're strengthening your outer ankle. That's good. 3 more of that exercise. Okay, good. So going to hold hip flexion and then hip extension and then hip abduction, adduction, and then flexion and heel raise. So we're going to hold all those positions now. So first, you might need the wall for balance. Reach your arms up, inhale, and going to hug in our right knee. So flexing into our right hip. So easier, one hand on the wall and one hand behind the knee. Harder is in the middle of the room, pulling, and then one more option is grab the big toe and try to straighten. Even if you can't straighten out, you might go halfway there. And so there's a few options there. Just holding. As long as you're here, you're doing your best, so you get all the benefits. Just do your best. Not too easy, not too hard. And then everybody straighten out the leg, hands on your hips. 10, squeeze out the muscles above your knee. 9, you can make it easier with your foot close to the floor or your foot higher. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do the other leg. Reaching up, lifting out of the lower spine. Very energizing. Exhale, hugging in the left knee. So it could be one hand on the wall, one hand behind the knee, or grab both. Optional if you want to try grabbing the big toe. And don't worry if you can't get the leg straight, but you might just go halfway. It doesn't matter if you don't do anything perfectly, you're just doing your best. Not too easy, not too hard. Trying to keep the breath flowing in and out through the nose. Look straight ahead, horizontal gaze. And then hold the legs straight. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Right hip extension. So into a lunge, your right leg's back. And then we'll do a well, you can do that. Or elbows and back pockets are easier if you've got a sore neck. Otherwise, it's more energizing and you get more lift out of the lower back to reach your arms up. And so it's your choice. This is a bit easier on your neck. So if your arms are up, it's a bit strong in your neck, but a little bit's quite good because you're strengthening. But don't try not to tense the neck. And you can look up as well. Just to your own edge, holding that lunge. Easy. You can make it easier or you can make it a bit harder. Last breath in the lunge. And then just swap your legs. Swap to your other leg. You can have hands at your hips, you can have elbows in back pockets, you can have your arms reaching up, you can look straight ahead or up. You should feel a stretch in the front of the left hip, working that nice hip extension. Good. Yeah, lifting your chest but not going into tension to your lower back, and reaching up your arms but not tensing into your neck. Just try and breathe mainly in and out through the nose, as relaxed as you could be in your breath, in your face, in yourself. That's good. Last breath there. And then if you feel like downward dog or hands on the wall or uttanasana. So a few choices there. You can go and put your hands on the wall and stretch forward. That's a bit easier on your shoulders and your wrists. Or you could do down dog, which most of you are doing. Or you could just stay in the middle and stretch forward. Just goes beautifully after the lunge, this hip flexion and lumbar spine. Try to let your neck lengthen. Final few breaths in the pose. You might step or jump feet to the hands. Slowly come up, not quickly if you get a bit of dizziness. All these microphones. Okay. And then hip abduction and adduction. So I'm going to go hip. I'll just show you how to make it easier. Just going to have right hip out, abducting. Let me just show you easier and harder. Don't worry about the block. In the middle of the room, that's harder. With one hand on the wall, that's easier. So turn side on. Just let's have our arms out. So holding our arms there, so as if your muscles around the shoulders stabilising. Okay, and then we'll just weight bear into our left leg first. So I'm going to abduct through the right hip, actually both hips, and hold. So just to your edge, and I'm going to check you're straight to the side. Pure hip abduction. Yeah, take it to your edge so you feel your muscles are working. You have your foot on the floor is easier, lean more is harder on both hips. Both hips are working, the weight-bearing hips are working the hardest than the lifting hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your arms there if you can. Take a breath at the centre. And then when you're ready, you might face the other way if you're using the wall. Hold. Take it to your edge. Get a little bit wobbly because then it's your muscles are working a bit harder and you get into your bones a bit more. Try to keep the neck in alignment too. Shoulders down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing. Coming to hip adduction. So right knee on top, eagle pose. So it's like this. Easier with your foot, right knee on top. Easier with your foot on the floor. Harder, take your foot off the floor. And bending, if your ankle's more flexible, you're bending into the standing leg, and it's very strengthening for that leg. So strengthening the left hip, loosening the right outer hip, and then right knee on top, right elbow on the bottom. You can either hug yourself or eagle pose arms. So your shoulder blades, outer hips are stretching, and obviously it's a weight-bearing pose, balancing. And it's also ankle flexibility. It's a hard pose. I find it's a really hard pose. Just one-legged chair on its own is hard enough. 10, keep the breath. 3, 2, 1. Straighten out your elbows and knees, grip around those joints. And then Tadasana, nice and straight. Just think about which knee is on top, which elbow is on the bottom. So left knee on top, you can make it a bit easier like I am here. Left elbow on the bottom. I'm making it easier. Or you could make it harder if you like. About 20, 30 counts for the holds. 10, 3, 2, 1. Straighten out those joints, grip around the knees and elbows after twisting a bit, and then releasing. Just have your feet a good hip width and a half forward bend. So not that, just a nice straight back. So some of you will go hands mid-thighs to keep your back. Some of you will rest your hands mid-shins, and a few people can put their hands on the floor and still be quite straight. So just feel like you're resting forward but not folding in yet, just keeping the back quite straight for now. We'll work on spinal flexion, but not right now. Right now, try and extend or lift your chest, lengthen out of your lower back. It's more energizing. We're not folding in yet. It's generally safer for your lower back discs as well to keep the lift. If you want to make this one harder, easier, keep your hands on your legs or on your floor, or on the floor or chair or blocks. Harder, hands on hips. Harder, open your wings. Harder, oh, this is really hard though. Upper arms next to your ears. 10, oh, it's hard. 9, keeping your back straight. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Strong core, back to standing. Elbows in back pockets to heel raise. Weight into the base of the big toes. Holding. Shoulders pulled down. Weight into the base of the big toes. Look straight ahead. 20, 30 counts. Just trying to keep the breath as calm as it could be. So if you're very yoga fit, the person next to you won't even hear you breathe. If you're not used to yoga, you might even be huffing and puffing because you're using your muscles. But if you get more yoga fit, you're actually breathing less. Just breathe however you need to breathe. 10. Good, good. Shoulders pulled down. Roll into lower ribs squeeze in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Squat. Into a squat. Half squat. Don't go into a full squat because I want you to use your leg muscles. So basically you're trying to get your bottom lower but your chest higher. Just try to get the weight equal on the right and left. So most of us will have a bit more weight in our stronger hip leg side. Yes, good, 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 good. Just feel your muscles working and your heart rate will probably, you'll start to feel like you're breathing a bit more. So it's going to be hard to keep that calm, quiet breath here. Bit of a challenge. 10 more counts in the pose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you can come out of the chair pose. Well done. So we're going to do some more work all around with hip abduction, adduction, flexion, extension, but also some core strength as well. Come to the front of your yoga mat. Exhale. Lifting out of the lower spine. Inhale. Oh, exhale. You might go halfway forward if you feel that's better for your back. I mean, you can go all the way forward if you feel that would be nice now. Stretching forward a bit more. Bit of a lift out of the lower spine on the inhale. Belly button, lift out of the belly button, and a little stretch forward a bit deeper into the stretch. Stretch. Try to get an even stretch right up the back. Back of the legs, back of the spine. You are trying to stretch your lower back, not just your hamstrings. Final exhalation, next exhalation. Okay, we're going to step back to down dog for a few breaths. And then kneeling, stretching forward for a few breaths. Just having a nice lower back release. but it's also ankle flexibility, knee, just do what you can. So if you're a bit stiffer and you only go halfway to kneeling like that, that's okay. But try to get your bottom back. Try to get your chest forward. Try to stay connected in your body, in your breath. Try to enjoy your body wherever you're at, because you're only going to get one body. Really good. Such a beautiful pose, just as important, probably more important than a lot of the poses that feel the core strength we're about to do is great and very important, but just the nice, they're all important. Okay, everybody, we're going to do right hip abduct and flex and extend. So just quickly look, right hip, flex, extend. We'll do left arm. You all know this one. Look at that. If you don't know it, extend, right leg back, and then flex, knee towards chest. Extend, inhale, flex, exhale. So you're working on a bit of strength and hip mobility, shoulder stability, stimulating good, lots of circulation. For the over 40s, most of us, it gets a bit stagnant around the gut, around the spine, just the blood flow, the lymph, the gut. This really gets everything stimulated. Okay, and then hold extension. So yes, that's it. You all know what you're doing. Yeah, that's it. Holding the straight leg. Yeah, lots of core, lots of squeezing your belly, glutes, shoulder blades. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight to the other side, left leg extend and flex. Okay, and then hold. Squeeze the glutes, the belly, the lower front ribs, that's the upper core. Good, chest, shoulder blade. That's it. 10 more counts. Nice, great. Yes, good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Child's pose with shoulder stretch, that one. Okay, so see if you can stretch your shoulders and then stretch forward. Maybe halfway if you're stiffer, but try to go a bit further if you're more flexible. Not forcing anything. And then just put your arms wherever. Forward, beside you. Make a pillow with your hands, just relaxed as you could be. Okay, now we're repeating what you just did, but there's a harder option. Just quickly look at the harder option. Wide-legged plank. Inhale, inhale. Oh, I'm a bit wobbly. Exhale. I just might keep both hands down a little bit. So you might do a little bit of the harder. You can hear it in my voice. Oh, the heat's coming too. You get hot really quickly when you do the hard stuff. Okay, but let's see. You can just do that one again. Most of you, that's enough, that one. So right leg, extend, flex. Some of you will try a little bit of the plank. You might just start with both hands down though, if you're not used to that one. So it's tremendous stability into the shoulders. So just be careful, you don't want a shoulder injury. But yoga can be really hard if you want it to be really hard. You can make it really hard if you want. And then repeating the hold. So I'm doing the harder hold with the right leg straight and the really hard one with the left arm. It's just an option. About 15 counts. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was hard. Okay. So it's left leg, extend and flex. I'm doing a little bit of the harder one. You might do a little bit of the harder one. The easy one, you're not missing out on any benefits. If you're just sticking with everything easier, it's still not that easy. It's still lots of muscles working. Don't make it too easy, don't make it too hard. Don't always play it safe. Okay, and then the hold. Ten more counts. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're going to do a really good one for our posture. Onto our belly. Clasping fingers, just holding your chest up. Squeeze your belly, feet down. So much for the easier options, hey? They're all quite hard because you're just a fit group. And for the people on YouTube, oh well. No one's, they're getting it for free, so they can't complain. Okay. I'll probably never meet them. They've probably walked away and turned off their TV anyway. 10, I've had enough of this class. 8, go and have a cup of tea. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You people here are the important people. Okay, back to kneeling, stretching forward. Release your lower back. And the people on Zoom. Just enjoying this. Just have a quick look at easier and harder. So just here, this is right hip abduct. So that's easier, but still quite hard here. Don't roll back. And this is a little bit of, that's really hard. There is an in-between one. Clam, yeah, okay, so 3 options. So one is, let's start with this. Just left hip down. And you can be right lying down. Easier as you lie your head down more. And just right hip abduct, abduct, abduct. But you're working your abductors, your outer hip muscles here, not your inner thighs. So we'll do adduction. This is abducting, abducting, back to neutral, abducting, back to neutral, abducting. Okay, you might try a little bit of the side plank with the left knee down. That's the easier, but it's still hard. I'm already fatiguing in my right hip. And then the really hard ones, some of you might try a little bit of the full side plank. Oh, it's hard. Everybody doing their own thing. You should all feel your outer right hip muscles. Okay, so 10 more counts of whatever you're working on. Top hip forward, Dana's husband. Sam. Top hip forward. 8, 7, good. 6, 5, 4. No one's doing the hard one except Roger and Julie, of course, and Kat. 3, 2, 1. Okay, everybody. Cat cow. Just have a little break in the centre with some spinal mobility. And then wag your tail. in the cat-cow. So hips hips side to side. Okay, so starting off with your right hip down like this and just abducting through your left hip but not rolled back. So top hip rolled forward to really get the right muscles, the right area of the bone and the right muscles for the hip stability and the bone density there. Optional, it's a bit harder, that one. So it's working your right hip as well as your left hip and your right shoulder and your right waist and your left side of the neck. And the really hard one, can't talk. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the oldest person is going the hardest. Roger, put your hand up. You're on YouTube. You could become famous. I want you to be 100 one day, and I could go back to this video.
I've got 24 years to go.
This is a, a library of. YouTube could be forever. So you might be able to watch yourself.
I'd rather not.
One day you might go back to this video. You'd rather not. Yeah. Anyway, it might be interesting. Okay, who knows? Okay, everybody, wag your tail or fours. Okay, so we're going to be back on our right side. We're going to do the right inner thighs, the adductor muscles. So just watch me quickly. See what I'm doing with my right leg. If you prop up like this, it makes it harder. If you lie your head down, it makes it easier. So you can choose. If you put a foot weight on your right ankle, but we don't have them. But sorry, Zoom people. I think you know what you're doing. Yeah, you're on your right side and your right leg coming up and down. Yeah, that's it. That's it, Deb. That's it. Good. That's it. Can anyone not feel their inner thigh muscles yet? Just squeeze the knee, lift higher, squeeze the inner knee muscles more. You can all feel them. No one put their hand up. Okay, just hold up as high as you can, that right leg, and lift and lift and lift and lift. 10, squeeze the knee as straight as you can get it. 9, 8, 7, really feel those inner thighs. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then roll onto your other side. So you should be left side down for the left inner thigh muscles. So you're working on hip adduction. And those inner thigh muscles are connected to the inner knee stability, which is very important because most people have weak inner knees. They're a bit of a problem. And then also pelvic floor as well. And yeah, connected to your deep core. So your pelvic floor is the foundations of the core. Yeah, most people don't naturally have strong inner thighs. Most people need to work on having strong inner thighs as you get older, especially. Try to squeeze your knee as straight as you can and lift your leg a bit higher, so really feel the muscles. Good, Steph, that's it. A little bit more lift, a little bit more lift, a little bit more lift. Just hold as high as you can. Let's do 10 more counts. A bit more squeeze, a bit more lift, a bit more grip around the knee, straighter. Good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lying on your back and just hugging your knees in. And we'll just release the inner thighs with hip circles, knees out and together. Other direction. And then we'll release the outer thighs and the inner thighs with windscreen wiper. I'm going to do a little bit of shoulder mobility while I'm here. So you might do that as well if you're familiar with that. Otherwise, just do your hips, keep your arms relaxed. I'm doing a bit of neck mobility as well, looking side to side, but you can just keep your neck steady. Have your feet just a tiny bit wider than hip width, and you get a bit more release in the outer hip then. So feet a little bit wider than hip width, or a lot wider than hip width if you want. Go heaps, go wider than you've normally gone, and just see how it feels in your outer hip. And then hugging your knees back in. It's a bit more natural light. Okay, so we're going to work on right hip flexion, and then left hip, then right hip extension. So do a little bit of work on our flexors and extensors. Lying on your back, and then the right leg, point and flex, lower and lift, point, flex. Also inhale, exhale is a good breath for this, but you don't have to worry too much. You could do exhale, inhale, and try to feel the muscles up the front of the right hip and thigh and your abs as well. If you want to work your upper abs a bit and a little bit more your chest and your throat, you can have your head up for a little bit, and that, straight away it's harder. If you want that, have your head up. You can also make it harder by not lifting your leg as high, keeping it closer to the floor. So once again, you don't need to make it too hard. You don't want to over-tense, because over-tensing actually can cause weakness or an injury. So you just got to get the right dose. Can you all feel the muscles up the front of the thigh and hip? Yeah, make them fatigue, they're important. Okay, and then just hold your foot, maybe halfway, maybe just off the floor. Head up is optional. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Yeah, that's a good idea. Point flex. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug the knee in, the right knee. Just give it a relax. Just softening those flexors. They will get a stretch. We are going to stretch all around our hips. Abduction, adduction, flexion, extension. But still working a bit on strength. So left hip, flexion. Working on the flexors, the muscles at the front. So it's point and flex, lower and lift. You can put your hands under your back. You can put your hands beside you. You can put your hands, I quite like my hands behind my head and just holding my head up a bit to work a bit more on my upper abs and focusing a bit, because your muscles are working quite hard, or they should be. So if it's not hard, don't lift your foot as high. Have it close to the floor, lift your head up, just make it a bit harder. You can put ankle mobility too with the flex and extend. deep core there, good. Starting to feel, get the muscles fatiguing a bit. And then just hold the foot just off the floor or at your edge for about 15 counts here. Head down easy, head up harder. You can do a bit of pointing and flexing. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can just hug that left knee in and relax those flexors. Okay, we're going to work on extension, so the extensors, the muscles up the back of the right leg. Just quickly watch what I'm doing here. You all know it. One-legged bridge with your right foot down. Lift and lower. Exhale, inhale, exhale. And you should be feeling is the muscles up the back of the leg, the back of the hip, the back of the spine. So don't do too much if your lower back's not ready. You know, ask your lower back. When you've had enough, hug the knee in, hug the right knee in. So take it to your edge. I don't want everybody to do the same. I want some of you to be hugging your right knee in for a break right now. I want some of you to be still going. And no one cares who, you're just looking after yourself. And you want to feel the muscles and you want to push them a bit and you want to make them fatigue because you want to build strength. You don't want to lose it. Or you want to slow down bone density loss and muscle mass loss as we get older. You've got to push it. And then hold. If you've had a rest, maybe come back and hold. Just hold your right leg down, right foot down, one-legged bridge. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just come down and hug the right knee in, releasing your lower back. And yeah, once again, so much for the easier options. There's no easier option there. I should have said just normal bridge is the easier option, but you've all done the harder one now. And you are a strong, fit group. Okay, so it's left foot down for one-legged bridge. Just do as much as you can, lifting and lowering. Strengthening up the back of the hip and the back of the spine. If you need a break, just hug your left knee in, have a little break, do the right thing by your lower back. If you don't need a break, keep going. Don't worry about other people. If you've had a little break, maybe come back for the hold. So holding one-legged bridge, you don't have to do the whole count. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down slowly. Hug your left knee in, just relaxing. And then hugging both knees in. That's easier. Harder is happy baby. A little bit stronger in your hips. If you're a bit more flexible in your knees and ankles, you could also try a bit of squatting on your feet. Another option. So there's going to be options for the flexibility. So first, if you're really flexible in your ankles and knees and hips and spine, then see how I've got my right knee bent like that. Okay, some people can lie right back. Oh, that's a bit of an overstretch for me. So I'm going to just stick onto my elbows. That's if you're quite flexible. The other one is lying, it's a bit easier, lying on your belly, pulling the right heel in first. Or lie on your left side is easier again. So work on knee flexion, the ability to bend our knee. A lot of people get very stiff and they can't bend their knees very well, and that's going to affect your mobility. So let's work on it, and not forcing, but try to relax into all the stretches. Every time you exhale, try to get a bit more stretch. No force, no overstretching. Everybody's much more quiet when they know you're being recorded for YouTube. Doesn't matter. You can still be cheeky. Okay. It's okay. It's much more serious. Yeah.
Karina's a disruptive. She's not here.
Yeah. It's Karina and Shah together, yeah. Yeah, Trudy's usually a bit cheeky, a bit irreverent. Final few breaths on the right leg, knee flexion, hip extension. And then everybody swapping over to your other knee, bending into your left knee. Every time you exhale, try to get a bit more release. Try to, most of the time, breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Steadily. Face soft. Obviously, it's ankle as well as hips and quads. So if you just work on your feet and you do a lot of walking and running, the ankles get stiff and then you can't kneel. Kneeling is lovely. I love kneeling. So good for your back, just kneeling, stretching forward. Final few breaths, see if you can get a little bit more stretch. Okay, and then from wherever you're at, make your way to all fours. Okay, so we're going to do right leg downward dog, and then lift your left leg up. So you're stretching the right leg, strong arms. And then walk your hands back to your foot, keeping that left leg up. Where's the easier option? No, there's no easier option. Okay. Optional, grab the back of the leg with the right arm and stretch a bit further. Really hard, grab the back with both arms. No, I'll keep the left arm down. Stretch the back of the right leg. Left leg's up. Left leg's up. Left leg's up. 5, 4. Did I? Oh, did I do it? Anyway, 3, 2, 1. Downward dog. Normal downward dog. Did I say right leg up? Yeah. Did I? Oh. Most people had the right leg down. I think I said the correct information because most people... Yeah, we can see it, we can watch it back. Yeah, no, we're having a break. Okay, come down to kneeling, quick rest. Yeah, I asked for cheeky. I'm getting it now. Okay, but they can't hear you on the microphone, so. But, okay, everybody, back to down dog. Okay, I'm going to focus. Left leg up. No, is it? What? Oh, God. Right leg up. Right leg up. Right leg up. Stretching the back of the left leg. And then walk your hands back to your left leg. And you might even grab the back of the left leg. Oh, I've just got to lock the Zoom meeting. Hold that pose. Quick. Okay, and then back to down dog. I just had the intruder on the Zoom meeting because I forgot to lock the meeting, so I had to quickly. The flasher. Okay, the flasher. Okay, the Zoom flasher. Anyway, the meeting's locked, so. And I didn't get a flash, it was just, I know I can recognise it now. Okay, everybody, child's pose. Sorry? Well, they've got different names, and June is the most common name they use. Jane, June, something. The first time, I'll never forget the first time. Yeah, we won't talk about it. It's because my YouTube is our kid. No, I don't know. It's not got rude words. Okay, I might get in trouble. Okay, right hip abductors. You can either do, see what I'm doing here? Pigeon, stretching my outer hip. That's one option. Or you can do right leg forward. We'll do right leg stretching first. So you could do this one. See the right hip right abductors are stretching here. It's like same as pigeon, but easier on your knee. So this is an option like this. Or this is an option if your knee doesn't mind, this one. So holding that stretch and practicing some nice slow deep breaths. Or doesn't have to be slow deep, just natural breathing. Really light natural breathing is fine as well. But sometimes you feel like, oh, you need a few slow deep breaths. Stress might have piled up. You might feel extra stiffness. Relax the face more. Make sure your knee's happy. It's great for your lower back as well. Final few breaths, working on your right hip abductors, right outer hip muscles. And then swapping over. Every time you exhale, try to get a bit more release into the stretch. Try to keep your focus in the pose. Just a little bit longer because you get a bit more release physically and mentally as well. Slowing down. Final exhalation, next exhalation. And then downward dog, or if you're sick of downward dog, well, if you're sick of down dog, just walk your hands back and put your hands on your shins or thighs again. Squeeze your knees straight. And everybody walking hands back to feet if you're in downward dog. Stretching forward, you might keep your back straight, or you might feel like you want to fold in and get a bit more stretch up the back. Just, there's no right or wrong. So some teachers might say, keep your back straight, don't fold in here. Well, how are you going to get your lower back more flexible? So you need to stretch your spine, you need to flex your spine. But a lot of people have stiff, short hamstrings. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't worry about it. Just some people are like that. You grew quickly, usually people that grew quickly, or just different types of fascia, connective tissue, different body types. Final exhalation in a pose. Try to go a bit further forward. Don't force. And then walking back to your down dog. Take a couple of breaths. And then right hip sphinx with, you might need to have a quick look at what I'm doing with my right knee. But on the hard floor, you might need a blanket, or just see how your knee, how much padding, are you really bony? Or have you got a little bit of muscular and a bit of fatty padding? So it depends on your right knee. So extending, so basically doing sphinx, it's hard to, I don't know if they can see me on Zoom. Anyway, it's basically sphinx pose with the right knee out to the side. So you're trying to get the inner thigh stretching there. So make sure your knee's happy. You might need to fold a towel or go side on your yoga mat. So if you bring that foot out a bit, you're trying to get a stretch into the groin and a little bit of spinal extension while we're here, which is good for us because we sit too much. We don't want to get rounded when we're older. Just tune into your body. If it just feels too much, you can make it a bit easier. You can roll off. Don't overstretch. You can always do adjustments to make it a bit harder or a bit easier. Obviously cobra, but that feels a bit, it's a bit too strong for me. I'm staying in sphinx. So some of you can come up higher, some of you it's not a problem for your hips and your spine, so we're all a bit different. Final few breaths. And then just swapping over to, if you need a break, just have a break, but maybe you feel like it's fine in your lower back, just swap straight over might feel fine. Play around with getting the edge, so you're feeling the inner groin stretch, the adductors, and then you're feeling an extension through your spine. So you don't have to feel a stretch too much in your spine, but you're feeling it in the left inner hip, and you're just taking your spine into gentle extension, which is good for it, because often we're sitting and it's flexed, and we don't want to get stuck there. So we want to Keep working on spinal extension to counteract too much sitting. Conscious breath, very good for your mind. Just focus on conscious, quiet, steady breathing in and out through the nose. Maybe a bit of cobra, some of you. Good. Final few breaths in the pose. Okay. Next pose, you might go to the wall or the middle of the room. So this is the middle of the room. I've got that block there, or a bolster. Some of you can have the block lower or higher. The wall is also really nice to be a bit more rested. Some of you are totally relaxed in the middle of the room. Be holding this for a few minutes with the legs up. Once you're up, do a little bit of a grip around your knees. So squeeze up after having your knees, your inner thighs stretching, your outer thighs, your inner thighs. Get a little grip, fully straighten. Maybe grip your inner knees together or your inner ankles. Spread your toes, try to relax your toes. So active legs, feet together like you're standing. Not pointed, not flexed, just neutral. And then just let your legs relax now. Let your body relax as much as you can in the pose for a few minutes. And the best way to relax the head is just focus on the breath. Or, I'm sure there's more ways, but one simple way of relaxing in the head space, which goes through the whole body, is just watch yourself breathe. Try to have quiet, calm, conscious breath in and out through the nose. Jaw, tongue, throat, relaxed as relaxed as you could be in your face. Jaw, tongue, throat, whole body. Half a minute longer in the pose. Okay, one more pose, Shavasana to finish for 5 minutes. Just the cherry on top, getting that final bit of that deeper benefit into the brain, which goes through the whole body. And it goes through into even our sleep cycle tonight will be affected by what you're doing right now, even how you digest, even your hunger hormones, how much it's going to help. It's going to help. What you're doing now, there's a 24-hour cycle. It's actually going to even help how you feel the whole day tomorrow. So what you're doing today does count, and also what you're doing with your bones this year counts for next year. This decade counts for the next decade. Your bone density, you're setting that up years and years before. So yeah, enjoy. You've all worked really hard and committed to pushing your body to its edge in all those poses. So hope you feel good. Around your hips feel like, oh, a nice feeling. Oiled up a bit, stimulated, circulation, sort of strengthened but loosened at the same time. It's a good feeling around your spine. And just see how you feel. So if you just feel you are stressed, you just feel like the stress is built up. Slow exhalation, slow breathing, deeper, slower breathing might be good. But maybe you don't feel like you need that. Maybe you just feel like just natural breathing is enough, and try and keep your awareness on your breath. Just notice if you're just gone off to thinking about this thing, thinking about that. Try to keep your mind in the pose, not just your body. And you might need to do it 100 times, bring your awareness back. And just know that you're strengthening your brain and slowing down aging in your brain by really pushing yourself to hold your attention, pushing it, just like you push a plank pose, you're pushing your head to be focused on right now. What you're focusing on right now is relaxing and feeling your body breathing in and out. Face a little bit more, jaw, tongue, throat, whole body. One more minute in the pose. So ease your back out, just wriggle toes and fingers. When you're ready, bring one knee in and the other knee in. And sitting up when you're ready. Roll to your side, sitting up. Thanks for coming tonight. And maybe you can do the class again. It'll be on YouTube this Friday.